Hello everyone, and welcome to Linux Forensics here at Pentester Academy. In this short video, I wanted to show you how we can modify our Python scripts that we introduced in a previous video to account for extents. Now recall that extents are a new feature in the ext4 file system, and what we've done is we have added the ability to have file runs. These are something that if you're familiar with NTFS, you might have heard about these before, but the basic idea is we have a list of clusters, or in our case, data blocks that are contiguous and they're stored in a tree structure. So what I have here is I've added a couple of teeny tiny classes. One of them is called extent header, and this is for that very first entry. And it tells you things like how deep is this extent tree. And if it's 0, which it most likely is, that means this is the bottom level. How many entries follow it? What's the maximum number of entries? Typically it's going to be 4, because that's how much you can store in the 60 bytes that you have. And I also made a pretty print function. I did something similar for the indexes. Those are those middle nodes, and they don't have much. They say, here's the block that this is for, and here is the 48-bit address for the block below me. Also made a pretty print. And then finally, I added a extent class that will print out the block. It has the length, how many data blocks are in this run, as well as the 48-bit address for the starting block. Once again, I defined a pretty print, and I added a simple method called getExtentTree that will take the whole 60-byte chunk. It knows that the first one must be a header. It will go through these and will add the header, and then depending on the depth from the header, if the depth was 0, then it's all leaf nodes and it adds them as extents. And if the depth was not 0, then it adds all the index nodes, or middle nodes, if you will. So a small change here. If the extent flag has been set, then I will call getExtentTree, and it will pass in my bytes. Otherwise, I populate this guy, this list that contains the blocks. Further down in my pretty print function, I've made a couple of simple additions here in order to pretty print the extents if they exist. And I also made it a little bit more user-friendly for some of these times. So it's pretty basic stuff, just a small extension. So what does it look like if we try to run this? So I'll go ahead and run my script. And now here's what I get. I have a listing that says I found an extent. It had a depth of 0 with 1 entry, a maximum of 4, a generation of 0. The generation is mostly unused, but it is a field that might be populated. And then we have, this is block 0, and here are the data blocks. This set, I can rerun my script on my other interesting inodes as well, and I see some very similar information. And that's pretty much it. Well, that's all for this video. As always, if you're enjoying these videos here at Pentester Academy, please tell a friend. We'll see you soon.